What's up, guys? It's Quicksilver here, and I guess I am in my riverbed bottom viewing room, squid farm, whatever you want to call this place. And yeah, I'm pretty pleased with how it's going. I didn't think that many squid were spawning down here, but I have seen it's kind of fun just to kind of sit here and watch these guys. A little mesmerizing because they will routinely do. That guy's just flirting with it. I don't know if he's gonna do it or not. But yeah, I've sat here and I've watched just squid after squid just come right down here like this guy might do. Is he going to do it? Oh, he's going to go past it. Alright, anyway, I've watched a ton of those guys go down here, and I've got a skeleton swimming up there, which looks really weird from underneath, but whatever. And I'm curious, actually, too. I'm assuming I can do this. Nope, maybe not. Alright, well, looks like I can't necessarily pot shot mobs from down here. No big shake. Give you a little bit of a quick update down here. Like I said, they keep coming down here. I've got a stack and a quarter already of ink down here. Come on, buddy. Yep, there we go. I'll just let him do his thing. But yeah, they just keep plopping down here. So anyway, yeah, it's pretty cool. I've started on the wheat farm design over here, and I've started to build it just to make sure I know what I'm doing, but I plan to build it over here too, and I've not even remotely started that yet. There's a lot I still have to do over here. This is actually just my little testing my little test wheat farm here. It's actually pretty cool. This is all going to be based on Monkeyfarm's wheat farm design that I think he's probably wrapping his up, I'm going to guess, in his tutorial series. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I'll put a link in the description down there. But I guess let's get to it. I guess first of all, so you guys know how I'm going to get to it, because I need this little viewing area here so that I can check to see if everything is grown. And I think the way that I'm going to handle this is I'm actually going to do this in tiers. This is just level 1. I've got another level dug out below it, and I probably want to do at least a third, maybe a fourth level below it, and I'll mirror that on the other side. There are 64 wheat right here, which is interesting because I'll explain, well, I guess it tells me something that I didn't know, but I'll explain how it works in a minute. Obviously I need a way to replant that, so I've already dug out a little back door here. All this will be blocked off eventually here too. I'm just, the wheat's going to get yanked out of here before all said and done as well. I was actually testing hydrating everything because in order to have obviously the stuff grow, I've got to make sure there's water nearby, or else it's going to uncropify itself. Untill itself, I guess, is the farming term. But anyway, the only block out of all this that I'm kind of concerned with not getting enough water is right here. And I've been doing this really just based on trial and error. I noticed in Monkeyfarm's video he was digging out in this back section here. He was hydrating there. I think the way that water works with tilled soil is it will keep hydrated 4 blocks away from it, and not counting the block where the water is. So right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, these should all be hydrated by that one little water source block back there. But these guys over here are not. And because of how I'm building this farm out, we get some interesting problems with being able to hydrate things. And so my solution for that, based on what Monkeyfarm did, is to throw the water in the wall like that. So I will do that on the lower levels as well. And then there's one over here that gets the front, I guess, tip of this thing. The way it's going to work, like most wheat farms, I will have a dispenser back here that I'll have a bucket of water in, and when the water floods out from right here, it will flood all the way to this edge and those edges in the corner and right along the edges here. So basically all this wheat and the seeds and all that good stuff are going to get shoved right off the edge, where they will fall down to the very bottom down here. At the bottom I will have water that is always on, that is just pushing everything down to a central collection point right about here. I'll drop that stuff into a hopper, and then probably I'm going to item elevate it back up into a chest that I am not sure where I'm going to put it yet. But I think prior to that I'm going to sort seeds and I'm going to sort wheat. So I'll probably have, maybe I'll have a chest over here and then that chest over there or something, and seeds will go in one and wheat will go in the other from both sides. The trickiest part I think I'm going to have to wrestle with, and I apologize, I'm not really showing you as much as I'm talking, but I'm trying to talking through the process for myself as well. Obviously I gotta have a button or something to kick all this stuff off. Ideally I'd like to put it right here, but I'm not sure if that'll be doable. Yeah, I guess it probably will, because there's going to be enough wall there that I can hide my redstone. The redstone on this thing is going to be a little bit of a monster, because I think what I'm going to do, so that I can have my button right here and right over there, I'm going to have to hit the button, and the redstone signal, I guess, is going to have to travel all the way down to the bottom of this thing, maybe, and under, or no, yeah, that would be stupid. I'm going to pull it up, and I'll pull it across via the ceiling. Duh. So our redstone signal will, let me get over back here again. I'm thinking that our redstone signal, this is my initial plan, you never know how this stuff is going to change, is going to come in, I think, behind that block. So I'll run it up here, over and through the ceiling, and then maybe over this way a little bit, and then we'll send it the signal down. And I haven't really decided where it's going to hit yet, but I'll probably vertically wire it down so that we can power this block, which will power the dispenser, or we'll send it directly into the dispenser, depending on what makes the most sense. So I guess let me go down another level here, and I will show you what we've got here, because this is a little bit easier to see because there's no wheat growing on it. Again, I think what I'm going to do, I think just having these torches is probably going to make it bright enough, but I'll probably throw like a glowstone right in here. So what I've done is we're actually 4 blocks lower. When I'm standing in here, we're 4 blocks lower than we were up there. So I left this one layer of stone in here with the dirt on top of it to grow our crops, and then I'll do the same thing down here, and we'll just carry our staircase down, and we'll come in through the back door again once we're underneath. So that's how this is all, in theory, going to work. So let me go ahead, I'll throw in a wood block here really fast, and I will just show you. So that's going to be our dispenser, there's our water source, and we go right up to this edge. So it works out really, really nicely. It's going to flood that out. And I guess the thing that I mentioned before that I thought was interesting that I didn't realize was I knew that water traveled 7 blocks from where you plop it down in the 4 cardinal directions, and then also will flood out on the diagonal in between, and that's how you get this big diamond shape, or half a diamond as the case is here. What I didn't realize is that one half of that diamond is exactly 64 blocks. So it's kind of cool, because if I'm replanting these things, all I have to do is, I know if I have three wheat growing pads over on this side, I'll need to grab 3 stacks of seeds to be able to replant all of them. So that's going to be handy. It's going to give me an insane amount of wheat. Again, I don't know that I really need it, but it's going to be kind of a fun project, and you know, hey, why not? I should have some bread sources around here too. Just to show you, I guess, really quick while I'm talking, the way that this is going to collect stuff down at the bottom, I'm just going to pretend that this is our bottommost level for a second. If I do this, you'll notice if you look at the way the water direction goes, everything's going on a nice diagonal, except for that one, which is just pushing everything out into the diagonal streams. So that works out fine. Right here where it dies, I'm just going to do this, and I'll just go ahead and do this really fast. I'll have to fight the current to get back up, which sucks, but that's alright. I'm willing to take one for the team here, man. Plop this out, and I think it's actually going to die. I'll have to go down 1 more level before we can actually take this the rest of the way, but yeah. Again, yep, there it is. Now these 2 shove into the wall, which is a big bad no-no thing. But actually, you know what? I won't have to take one for the team. I'll do it this way. As soon as I drop them this way, they fix themselves as well. So life is good there. Once I get everything to here, I'm not sure if when the water comes in from this direction as well, this becomes a still water source block, which everything will just drop through. I'm not sure I want to do that, or if I'll throw a sign in there so it's just a hole, or how I'm going to handle it, but I will do that eventually. But let's get back up here above it all, and again, you can see how nothing is running into the wall. Everything is pushing nicely exactly where we want it to. So it should, once everything gets shoved down to the edges here, it should get shoved right into that water stream, and then again, you know, we can go ahead and we'll collect it in our central collection point, and we will then elevate the stuff up. Another thing I'm toying with is DocM77 had an interesting take on an item elevator that he's done a report on. A report, wow, yeah, he's writing school book reports. Man, I gotta start drinking or something. There's a way to do it without using the dispensers, which is kind of appealing to me, because quite frankly, not the dispensers, the droppers and the dropper elevators, because those things are great when you have a lot of items in it, which, you know, this will have in it. You don't hear the ticking but I can't stand the way that ticking sounds, man. It's so annoying. And Doc's used one that I know the ZipCrowd server has done in the past with using glass and forcing the fact that these are non-solid blocks, so if an item gets shoved into it, it will actually elevate up through the glass, through a glass column, which I think is pretty slick. And like I said, Doc's got one that uses ice, and somebody, I'm not sure he mentions who it is, but somebody figured out that if you have, like if we had another fence post right here, and we had ice underneath this one and not under this one, and everything's moving through water over the ice at a really quick clip, if we have a glass block on top of this fence post, it's enough, it'll glitch through and get pushed up into the glass block, and it'll elevate up without having to worry about dispensers or any of that good stuff. Hoppers, you know, sorry. Bear with me, guys. Actually, no, droppers. God, I'll get the term right one of these days, right? Anyway, I've goofed around with it a little bit, and I've had some problems using it where, let's pretend this torch, well, do I have any torches in my inventory? Oh man, that's a sin. Alright, let's pretend that there is a torch right here. Well, screw it, we'll use this torch. If the items flow right in the middle, let's pretend that torch is our fence post. If the items are right in the middle, they seem to elevate up no problem. But if they're to the left or the right of that thing, just by whatever fate or chance, they seem to get stuck in some of the tests that I've done in my contraption world. Now I think it was okay on the left side for some reason, it still would manage to push them up, but if they were over on the right edge, I kept losing items in it. So I'm not sure, maybe I'll goof around with a little more, maybe I did build something wrong. I don't think that I did, or it could have something to do, I know sometimes in Minecraft if things are elevated one way they'll work, and if they're oriented another way then they won't work. So I'm not sure which or what the problem could be, but I may look into that a little more because I really like the idea of a silent item elevator. Yeah, look at that, we've got another 10 ink sacks just chatting here. So anyway, I may look into that, but I'm kind of maybe steering away from that solution as well, just because it's kind of using a hack in a way. I mean, it's not like I'm completely cheating to do it, but at the same time, eventually Mojang might fix it and then my elevator would be broken and I'd have to rebuild the damn thing. So I may just suck it up and go with a standard dropper elevator like I've showed you guys in the past. But alright, I'm going to shut my mouth now and I'm going to build a little more on this thing, and then I will be back and give you a little bit of a progress update. I think what I might do, since I've shown you this much of this stuff, I may just build this side out completely and build that stuff all off camera on that side. I don't think there's anything that I've done over here that's confusing to anybody. I think as far as the type of people that are watching my videos, I don't know that you guys are necessarily complete beginners. But even if you are, like I said, it's really just digging out a room, throwing down some water in certain areas. I would explain a little more, but I think Monkeyfarm said he might do a tutorial on this stuff, and so if he's going to do that, like I said, it is his design. I'm not going to take his thunder away. So if he does, maybe I'll post a link to that, or I'll add that to the description down the road. So anyway, alright, I'm going to shut up now, and I'm going to build a little bit more, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I finished digging out this side anyway, so I thought I'd give you a quick little progress report update. So that's our first pad up there with the wheat growing on it happily. Here's our second. And then down here is the water column that I was talking about, where everything's going to get shoved into there. So our third little wheat farm area is just straight down the steps, and then I'm kind of cutting back so that I can still center myself on the pad. So anything that drops down from above should get washed right into here, and then everything should get pushed over to nice and neat to this little center spot. So just to show you how it's going to work and make sure for myself that it is indeed going to work, things aren't going to get stuck on edges or anything on level 2, let's go ahead and I'm going to drop a little wood block in here just so I don't have to worry about anything doing that. And then I'm going to fight the current here and throw down my water source block right against that thing. And there we go. Everything gets shoved off the edge, which is nice. Purdy. I'll go ahead and suck that up now. We'll simulate turning the machine off. Everything is still hydrated, which is really, really cool. The other thing that was nice, actually, this lowest level where all the water flows, I didn't have to worry about sticking the water source blocks in the wall like I did up here, because I've got so much water that's constantly just flowing here. I did keep this in here just in case because this is a little bit further away from the water that's down below it. So that could potentially be a problem to keep hydrated. Alright, so I managed to wrap up 11 seeds here and 1 wheat dumped into my inventory from throwing the water source up there. But everything else should be right there, and if I'm not, well, actually I guess we'll see how much we get out of that. So that is from one pad, gives us 60 wheat and plenty of seeds, obviously, plus, you know, I think it's one batch plus a half, obviously is what that seems like, or pretty damn close to that to replant with. So yeah, this is going to give us a shitload of wheat, guys. So I think at this point what I have left to do, I've got to throw all the dirt blocks in down here, and then I've got to probably start looking at my redstone wiring. So I'm going to shut my mouth now so that I can get that stuff done and actually show you guys the redstone wiring. I will go ahead and I'll get the dirt placed first, but again I'll do all that stuff off camera. And I will be right back so we can get this sucker wired up. Okay guys, so I've been a little bit busy here. I have completely, I guess, kind of finished out the way this looks on the inside here. I did want to show you one thing. Actually, I'll probably show you a couple things, just knowing myself, before I started doing the redstone wiring. I went ahead, I don't know that I need the glowstone in here in the middle, but I thought I'd go ahead and do it anyway. The light levels all seem fine. I'm not spawning any mobs in here. I've given it plenty of time to test that. I do have this 3 levels high. The only other thing that I needed, well, I guess to be thorough, I needed to show you was I noticed that this one block, it was either right here or right here, I think it was right here, was not actually getting water. So the water that I had in here, I actually moved it out a block, which shouldn't be a problem. Anything that gets flooded to the edge here, kind of stuttered there. Anything that gets flooded to the edge there should just drop right through it, no problem, down to the bottom area there. So I'm not really too worried about that. And the way I did that, as you can see, is I just made a little, really it's like if you're building a bucket in the little construction thing when you're in the crafting table, and just use the block here to throw the water in to hold it in place. And that seems to be keeping everything all nice and hydrated here. I did throw in my stuff here. I do need to throw a water bucket into each one of these. I had to kind of tear some stuff apart. I've done a little bit of pre-wiring, I guess, for the redstone, the vertical wiring that we're going to do here, just so that I would make sure I wasn't doing a lot of digging with you guys on camera. So now we've got all those things wired up. But yeah, as you can see, I've got everything all aerated everywhere here. And yeah, we should be in good shape. So I'm going to go ahead and I guess we'll start doing our redstone wiring here. So I guess, yeah, I've already dug this part out as well. Here we are, we're actually above the ceiling. I turned these into full blocks instead of half slabs. Oh yeah, one bad thing, this kind of intersected right here. This is the controls for our tri-level, or our triple gate, I guess, that opens from the stables. So I had to cut through this redstone wiring. So when we're all done, I'm going to actually throw some blocks back in here. Well, I'll go back up in there, throw the blocks in here, and reconnect that redstone. Shouldn't be a problem because we're just going to go straight across here with redstone. But yeah, let's go ahead and get that done, and then we can do our vertical wiring. My thought is, like I've done over on that side, I'm going to have a wooden button right here on the purple block. So we need to get some redstone behind it. And this is actually a short enough little trip right across the ceiling that we don't need to worry about getting an extension of any sort in there, meaning a redstone repeater or anything like that. So I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You know what? Maybe we do need one. Let's go ahead and drop one in. It can't hurt. I think that's a little bit longer than we want it to be. So, there we go. I knew I had some stone down here. I'll probably make some redstone torches some more redstone torches while I'm in here too. Can't hurt. So only got 6 of them left. We're probably going to need 6 or 8 of them, I'm going to guess. Oh, well, okay. Let's go for 5, right? Okay, good enough. Yeah, that should be plenty. So we'll throw that back in, and let's go ahead and get our repeater actually in here. I'm going to leave that on a 0 delay so we can make this as quick as possible. And I'll throw it right here in the middle. It can't hurt. There, now we know we've got enough juice. So I'm going to throw a redstone torch here. So the idea being, when we hit the button, it will turn this torch off, which will then turn this redstone off. which will then turn this torch on, which will give us our pulse to make that happen. Since I don't want that on, I'll do that again. And there we go, that turns it off. Then I'll do the same thing there. And now I will drop down here, and that is the other block there. And we'll just repeat this process. Now the other thing that's nice is because I made this four blocks thick, I guess the height of these rooms with 2 blocks for the wheat to grow in, and then the ceiling is 2 blocks thick, being stone here, and then the dirt floor above it. It's just enough room to cycle these down twice, which means that this torch, the on-off state of it, which powers that, matches the on-off state of the torch above it. So it's really easy to get that thing wired up. Actually, let's go ahead. I'll throw that dust there. Oh man, did I do that up here? Because if I didn't, it's not going to work. Yeah, okay, good. So I guess at this point, we'll go down a little bit more. And I think I can do that. I can do this, and I can do that, and then that again, so that it's not actually pulsing. And there we go. At this point, I think we're all set and ready to test the test it out. I know this part's going to work, so I think just to avoid having to run back and forth a bunch, I'm just going to stick a button down right here. So we'll hit that. That's not going to work. What am I thinking? What's the easiest way for me to do this? Can I do it here? No, that ain't going to work. I know what I can do. We'll tear that guy out, and we'll put it on the side of that block. There we go. Okay, so that's on. That's what we want. Let's make sure as long as this one's on. Yep. So that's flooding, and I expect this one to be doing the same. Yes. Okay, so all our pads are flooded, which is exactly what we want. So let me go back up here, and we will tear that button off of there, and we'll finish wiring this thing up. Okay, so we're heading back over here now. Sorry about that. I had a little brief break there, guys. I think at this point, let's go ahead and just throw these blocks back in there, because I think we're ready to close it up. So I don't think I need that stuff anymore. I do need, well, I need one of those, and I need that guy. And then if we've done everything right, well, I should have turned those off first, but this will be a good test of it too. We'll throw that guy on there really quick. And there we go. Turned them off. So that should be all of them turned off. So that's now closed up. Let's go back here. Now we take the long way. Oh, that was the other thing I didn't show you. Well, it's no big deal. I have shown you this. This is our back entrance. I've actually dug out the other side of the of this thing as well. So I've done this already once over there. So I do have a little experience with this. So I was pretty confident showing this to you that it was going to work. Let's just make sure all this stuff's off, which it is, and last but not least, it is. Excellent. Okay, so now we've got our button states all set, and we should be able at this point. I'm going to go ahead and go off camera, and I'm going to, I guess I'll close this thing up over here, and actually I've already closed that up over here. I'm going to go start drinking so I have an excuse. I've said that twice this episode. That's not a good sign, I don't think. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go off camera. I'm going to fix the horse stables up there. It's really just going to be putting in a couple more blocks, probably just use dirt blocks since I have a metric ton of them from digging all this stuff out. I'll fix that stuff up and make it work again, and then I will come back and we'll work on the sorting system that we're going to use to get all the items up here and dumped into that chest, since we now have the ability to plant wheat, grow wheat, and flood it all off into one common collection point. So I'll be back in just a couple of seconds. Alright guys, I just checked the length on this, and I think we've gotten a little bit long, so I am going to go ahead and call this an end to it, and what we'll do is we'll build the sorting system into this the next video. I've kind of dug out some passageways and stuff underground, which I will show you next time, but I think it's going to be pretty doable. The way I've got it set up, I'll have the wheat come up and hang out in here. I've already got some building materials ready for it. And then I'll dump the seeds over on this side. So in the meantime, I did plant all three sides of all three tiers of this side. So let's go ahead and see what we get on it. So we can see this thing in the works. I'm gonna guess if I watch the stuff up here, that it's probably going to take about the same amount of time to clear out the lower levels. So I'll give it a couple seconds more. Okay, we'll go ahead and we'll hit that. That should give us a good idea too of how much we're going to expect out of this. I don't know if they were all completely grown, but I think the vast majority of the wheat was. So I'm going to head down here. Yep, good deal. That all appears to be cleared off. And as long as this one's cleared off as well, which we actually have to jump in here since I don't have the sorter set up. Looks like it's all been pushed at least out of this stream. And yep, out of here as well. So let's go ahead and see what we have down here other than a metric shit ton of wheat. So there we go. This is kind of handy actually, having that water source there lets me get out of there easily. So there we go. I'll hop back in here. Looks like we've got almost 3 complete stacks of wheat and a shit ton of seeds. I think what I'm going to go ahead and do, guys, yeah, I'll show you. Why not? Here's the little access tunnel that I've dug out down here. And this actually will connect to the other side. Right here is where we're going to have all this stuff built in, and then I'm going to have the seeds there, the wheat there. And I think what I'm going to do, because I'm going to get so many more seeds than I am wheat out of these things, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set up a dump as well. So if we end up filling up on, I'll sort the wheat first, and then the seeds will sort second. That way, when we back up and we have filled everything up with seeds, we won't back up the system. In other words, I won't have seeds stuck in the hopper chain that are going to keep us from being able to sort any new wheat or anything like that. So what I think I can do, and we'll certainly see, is if I sort the wheat first, and then I make sure that any seeds that like once we've backed up, that there's another place for the seeds to go, other than in the chest that we've got, then I'll sort them directly into into a dropper that'll be sort of situated over a lava pit or a lava block, I guess. And at that point, we can go ahead and get rid of any extra seeds. So it'll give us kind of a fail-safe. So once our double chest is full of seeds up there, which is probably not going to take very long, then we can stop collecting them and just let them go into the lava. And then as we use them up, they should automatically start filtering back in. So that's the plan. If you liked what you saw in this one, go ahead and give me a thumb up. It really helps the channel a lot. And if you really, really liked it and you're not already a subscriber, please do subscribe. And I will catch you guys next time in Wheat Heaven.